Hi there, Barons.
On this week's episode, we'll shamelessly plug this TV show,
Celebrate the start of Women's History Month,
determine the music taste of our student body,
and check in with our Baron athletes. I'm Fernando Castro.
And I'm Louise Brophy.
And you're watching BCC TV. What's going on in the news this week, Louise?
Woefully, BCC underwent another lockdown last Tuesday. While the duration of the protocol was significantly shorter than the previous weeks, it is important to note that this was our school's second lockdown within a 6-day period.
We would again like to thank our staff and students for your courage, patience, and understanding during this worrisome time.
On a brighter note, auditions for Season 10 of BCC TV are drawing even nearer. Let's quickly cover some of the crazy cool aspects of this class and why you'd be just plain crazy not to take it.
Hey, Emily, what are we doing here?
Hey there, I'm about to tell you a little bit about auditions.
So when are auditions?
Auditions are March 10th through the 28th at lunch.
What can you audition to be?
You can audition to be an anchor, writer, editor, set design, social media content creator, anything really creative.
Where are auditions?
Auditions are right here in the media center. How about I just show you? So we walk in right here, and you're gonna head straight to the back, past the puzzles. Eventually you'll get to this door. You'll open it, and then right in here will be the auditions.
It's like not open.
Perfect. All right, now let's see the studio. Here it is in all of its glory. We have the anchor's desk, we have where we film sports, the teleprompter, the cameras, all of it.
So what are we gonna do during auditions?
During auditions, you'll come over here and you'll sit at this desk, and you will read off of a teleprompter if you are an anchor or a writer. And we'll ask some questions, really friendly. If you're an editor, you're also gonna sit at this desk, but you're gonna tell us a little bit about yourself, your editing software, and you're gonna maybe show us a clip of what you've done.
Perfect. How can I sign up?
So you can join the BCC Google Classroom, and then you're gonna sign up with the Google form and also the Google Calendar for your audition.
When is the class?
The class is first period, best period in my opinion, so join up.
So why should I join BCC TV?
It really is a creative outlet. You can do honestly whatever you want if it's really something you're passionate in. And honestly, it's just a way to meet great people.
Thank you so much.
Of course. See you soon, hopefully.
I can't believe next year is this show's 10-year anniversary. From the tiny original cast in Season 1 to continuing production during COVID's not-so-BCC TV to us sitting here right now, the show sure has changed a lot.
Of course, but at least one thing's been a constant, or one person. Our amazing female role model who has built this show from the ground up, Miss Pagan.
Our queen. We would be nowhere without her groundbreaking leadership. But come to think of it, that skill applies to a lot of women in our community.
Totally. So, in honor of Women's History Month, why don't we learn a little more about the significance of this time and highlight the inspiring baronesses that help us every day.
Hey Barons, March is here, which means it's Women's History Month. Women's History Month is a time to celebrate the underappreciated inventions and movements of women of history and of the present that granted us many of the freedoms and technologies that we have today. From Wi-Fi to windshield wipers, caller ID to computer algorithms, the contributions of women have always been a part of our lives and of history, yet their stories have been overlooked, erased, or rewritten in certain cases to fit a certain narrative. So where did Women's History Month actually come from? Well, it started as just a single week. Back in 1978, a group of educators in Santa Rosa, California decided to dedicate a week in March to celebrating women's contributions to history, because let's be real, history books have done a great job of overlooking them. This idea caught on, and by 1980, President Jimmy Carter declared the first official Women's History Week. 7 years later, Congress expanded it to the entire month of March. So this Women's History Month, let's remember that dedicating just 1 month to women's history doesn't necessarily make up for centuries of exclusion, or for present-day exclusion, for that matter. And there were plenty of women who weren't properly included in feminist victories throughout our nation's history. For example, the suffrage movement. Most of us learned in school that American women won the right to vote in 1920 with the 19th Amendment, which is great, except that that victory wasn't universal. Women of color, especially Black, Native, and Asian women, still faced legal barriers that kept them from voting for decades. It wasn't until the Voting Rights Act of 1965, 45 years later, that many women of color were truly able to exercise their right to vote.
Women's contribution go beyond politics, from Rosalind Franklin, whose research was crucial to discovering DNA structure, but was overshadowed by the Watson and Crick, to Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson, the Black female mathematician at NASA who helped send astronauts to space. Women have been driving progress in science, technology, and countless other fields, while often receiving little to no credit. And while we love to say first woman to headline, it's also a reminder of just how long women have been excluded from these spaces. First woman Supreme Court Justice in 1981, first woman Vice President 2021. That's very recent history. Women's History Month is not just about looking back, it's about looking around. Women still face wage gaps, underrepresentation in leadership, and depending on where they live, restriction on their rights. Celebrating this month means more than just remembering the past. It's about recognizing the work that still needs to be done.
So yes, Women's History Month is about honoring the incredible women who came before us, but it's also about making sure that women's voices today are heard, valued, and respected.
At the end of the day, parents, two things can be true at once. We can celebrate how far we've come while acknowledging how far we still have to go.
Thanks for watching. Back to you, Fernando and Louise.
Where would the world be without women?
Everything would be completely different, since women are a huge foundation of many industries.
OMG, you're so right, especially the music industry. No Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Celine Dion, Dolly Parton, Whitney, Shakira.
Okay, well, we could go on forever, but let's take the time now to see which of these artists have made their way into the playlists of our Barons.
I know I've been away. Something in the orange tells me we're not done.
Great song choices, guys.
Hey, speaking of choices, our BCC coaches have been making some pretty tough ones lately with the start of spring tryouts.
Yes, which reminds me, it's about time we check on our hardworking Barron athletes.
What's goody, Barons? Welcome back to another week of sports news. Let's get right into it. Starting off with our basketball teams. The boys went up against Gaithersburg High School and crushed them 72-29, that being the Trojans' lowest score this season. And last night, they played in their final game of the season. Congrats to all the seniors and the rest of the players for completing this season. The girls played Clarksburg last Wednesday and unfortunately fell just short of the win. They will most likely play against them later this season, so make sure to stay tuned on game info. This week, they played Whitman in quite the game. Great job, ladies. On to the track. Select athletes from this year's indoor track team will be competing at the New Balance Indoor Nationals in the near future. Stay tuned and good luck to all of our incredible Barons. Now switching gears into something that BCC Sports has never covered before. An inside look at BCC's Ritmo Latino. We are lucky enough to have exclusive interviews with team members and some insider footage. Let's check it out.
My name is Alisa Anchecta, and I'm a senior, and I'm the captain of Ritmo Latino.
My name is Noor. I'm in 11th grade.
I'm Scott DeWeese. I'm in 11th grade.
My name is Fernando Angarita. I'm in 11th grade.
My name is Camila Cordero. I am a sophomore, and I am social media manager.
Well, Ritmo Latino for me means a lot because it's more like a family. It's not really like a team, at least for me. It's also because Ritmo Latino has made it an outlet for my mental health.
It's a responsibility. It's my passion. It's kind of what gets me up and going in the morning.
It was epic. The crowd was wild. It was super hype. I mean, obviously it was really stressful, but we've been preparing for so long, and you know, I knew that we could do it, and it was just honestly really fun.
Well, mainly, I would say like the counts and smiling and not messing up, because the biggest thing I would say is living up to like what my partners are doing and the effort that they're putting into the team. So I really want to put that same effort or more into the stage.
I like to think that we can do it. I'm very confident in the skills that our team has, so I was not afraid that we were going to lose. I'm not a competitive person at heart, but being with the people that I was around with, it made me competitive. So.
It's just such a great experience that we all make sure that we feel welcomed and cared for. So I really want to put it out there that you don't have to be Hispanic or Latino. Everyone's welcome. Even dance experience, half of us been there who started from the lowest point of dance and then grew so much.
That's genuinely just so impressive. It's hard to believe that the Ritmo Latino team is all BCC students. They look like pros. Thanks for letting us in on the inner workings of the team. Well, that's all for this week's Sports Recap, Barons. Lots of luck to all the spring athletes working hard in this preseason. Make sure to tune back in next week for more highlights and insights. Back to you, Fernando and Luis.
And that's all for this week, Barons.
Check back next episode for more news, updates, and humor.
Keep the spring flowers high.
And the spring showers low.
I'm Fernando Castro.
And I'm Louise Brophy.
And we're signing off. Bye, BCC!